Hello everyone, my name is Mutumba Robert. My project is about data customer scheduling system, and my problem I'm solving is congestion of paper in banks. Like, many people visit banks with different reasons, like depositing, withdrawing, etc. But majority of the people end up when they haven't been worked upon on that particular day, which enforces them to come back on another day. But this thing leads to congestion of people in those banks because the population increases. But this is caused by poor management of workers and poor monitoring. But despite of congestion, people even face a problem of wasting a lot of time in those banks while lining up, etc. So I created a schedule data set, and this data set will contain data with transcription. When I say transcription, I mean custom actions and algorithm process. And this transcription is fetched from the audio file. So this means that the customer will input his details into the laptop, but this text will be formatted into an audio in order for the system to return an output in form of an audio while directing the customer where to go. After the customer inputting his records, he will print out the form which contain the token number, and this will be read by the schedule system for further directions. Therefore, the customer is going to act as an object, and even a teller is an object, the bank manager is an object, but here I'm considering a customer and a teller in my project, so I'm going to consider the customer as an object and the teller. Actions, the functions taken by or activities done by a customer or a teller when he's in the bank. Those are variables that will be extracted in the text. So my fourth slide is about factors I consider for choosing this data set. The first factor is about data variables, whereby the data set contains the variable which I need in my project, like action, object. When I say object, I mean the customer or a teller. So another factor is input type. Since my project involves the customer to input his details in form of text via the laptop, therefore I selected this data set because it allows my object to make an input. Another factor is time. So this data set automatically counts the time the teller works on the customer, and if that particular customer has been worked upon, the schedule system calls another customer to a particular teller. So another factor is efficiency. Since this data set contains algorithms which specify certain steps taken by customers while inserting their details into the machine. By the way, these are steps taken to solve a problem. Like in machine learning algorithms, mainly they just handle patterns of data. So my fifth slide is about important features of the schedule dataset. So one is the model algorithm. This contains the extracted variables in the text of the dataset, and the model is created to read this algorithm. As I said, algorithm, they contain the patterns, they handle the patterns of patterns of data which is needed by the model, and the model is a device which reads machine learning algorithms. So my second important feature is about data variables, for example action, location, and object, which are extracted in the text and are used as data patterns by the algorithm. The audio file, this stores data consisting of transcription, for example action like customer withdrawing money. The system requirements, like in this case the customer has to input his details via the laptop, and the teller has to work on that particular customer with the computer. Training data. This data is used when creating the schedule model. Therefore, we gather all customers' details in this model. So testing data. This data mainly determines the efficiency of the model. So about the Bayes theorem, it says that the condition probability of an event based on the occurrence of another event is equal to the likelihood of the second event given the first event multiplied by the probability of the first event. So Bayes' theorem is also known as Bayes' rule, Bayes' law, or Bayesian reasoning, and it determines the probability of an event with uncertain knowledge. So in probability theory, it relates the condition probability and marginal probabilities of two random events. So about Navier-Bayes, it is a simple learning algorithm that utilizes Bayes' rule together with a strong assumption that the attributes are conditionally independent given the class. So this algorithm comprises of two words, Navier, which is Navier, and Bayes, which can be described as first thing, Navier. It is called Navier because it assumes the occurrence of a certain future which is independent of the occurrence of another futures. So why Bayes? It is called Bayes because it depends on the principle of Bayes' theorem. So about the Bayesian networks, these are ideal for taking an event that occurred and predicting the likelihood that any one of several possible known causes was the contributing factor. For example, Bayesian network could represent the probability relationships between diseases and symptoms. So the difference between Navier-Bayes and Bayes networks, first on Navier-Bayes assumes conditional independence, while on Bayes network allows the user to specify which attributes are conditionally independent. Under Navier-Bayes, futures are considered as attributes. Under Bayes network, futures are selected based on some scoring functions like Bayesian scoring function. Under Navier-Bayes, it is not complicated. It doesn't discard crucial attributes, and under Bayes networks it is more complicated. During structured learning, some crucial attributes are discussed. So the last slide is about the references I used where I obtained my data. Those are the references, and my problem is about congestion of people in banks, and the system which I'm going to do is customer Taylor scheduling system. So thank you, sir, for listening.